Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to go over cord ends, crimp beads, crimp bead covers, cup chain ends, knot covers, and scrimps. That is a mouthful, basically, but all of these different findings allow you to finish off your jewelry pieces so that you can attach a clasp, attach a jump ring, attach it to another jewelry making component such as a chain or another finding. I'm going to go one by one and show you the different options available. And this is just a small selection of those that are available at beadaholique.com. So when you're selecting a cord end, you're really going to choose based upon one, the metal finish, the color. You see there's a wide variety of colors, so you'll want to match your colors. If you're using a silver clasp and silver jump rings, you'll want a silver cord end most likely. But you're also going to choose based upon the type of material you're using or the type of project you've created. If you are using flat ribbon, for instance, you're going to probably want a ribbon crimp cord end. So these come in a variety of sizes. So the size of the item that you're trying to finish also makes a difference. If you have a 5mm ribbon, you're going to want a 5mm end. If you have a 10mm, you'll want a 10mm. And that's going to be true across the board. As you can see, there's a variety of sizes available. So you want to keep the finish in mind, the type of material you're using, and also the size. So cord ends sometimes have hooks or clasps already attached. Sometimes they just have a loop, and sometimes they have neither. As you'll see here, they just have a hole. And we actually have other videos on beadaholique.com showing you how to use almost all of these, but I just want to talk to you about the different types available in this video. So we have this type here, which would allow you to easily cover the end of Kumihimo or a braid or any type of fiber that if you're doing some macrame, it would work for that. We have a variety of shapes, styles, finishes. You can see there's also ones for flat, cork, big textiles, big cords. You see the scale varies quite a bit. I have a few finished examples here. Here's an example where the cord end just has a ring attached, and then we just use a jump ring to attach our setting. Here's another example where it's actually a clasp is the cord end. That actually saves some work, but it's a different style. You can see here the scale. When I was talking about making your decision based upon the size of what you're trying to finish, if you are doing something like Kumihimo, you'll want to make sure you pick the appropriate cord end or cord end clasp for the size of your braid. You can just measure the diameter of your braid and match that up with the measurements on the product listing. Sometimes you can buy a little kit that has multiples or also has the clasp attached. Then there's also cord ends, which will allow you to rivet a piece of material such as this flat cork and be able to finish your piece like that. And you'll see they come in different styles too, even ones which just allow you to rivet it in place, and then you'll have this wonderful end as well. Different scale, different sizes. There's ones such as these Miyuki slider ends where you go ahead and you just slide it over your beads. Adds a really nice clean finished look to your design. So really quite a variety. There are many, many more on the website. I just pulled a few, but I wanted to give you a good idea of the range available. So that covers the cord ends. Another way to finish your jewelry piece is with crimp beads. Now crimp beads are usually used if you're using beading wire, and there are crimp beads which are a little bit more rounded, and then there's crimp tubes which are more cylindric in shape. It's really a personal preference as to which one you want to use. I know I personally love crimp tubes. I just find them a little bit easier to work with, but crimp beads work great as well. And you can see they come in a variety of sizes as well. We even have ones for stretch cord, or you could buy multi-packs as well. And then if you want to go ahead and finish off your crimp bead, you can use a crimp bead cover. Crimp bead covers just fit seamlessly over the crimp bead, and you squish them shut. You'll see that there's an opening right here. So you just take a pair of chain nose pliers, you go ahead and you pinch it together over that crimp bead, and then it looks like another bead. And I have a couple examples to show you to help illustrate that. So here is a necklace design that one of our designers made, and she used a crimp bead. And you can see the seam in the crimp bead. It's beautiful, it's secure. She did a very nice, neat job, but you do see the crimp bead. Now, if you want to cover that crimp bead, you can use a crimp bead cover, which is what has been done here. So these are actually crimp bead covers. They're not beads themselves, but they have been made to look like beads just to add a finishing touch to the design. Speaking of covering, there are knot covers. Knot covers are usually used in pearl knotting, or you can also use them in different types of braiding techniques, and they just fit over the knot. Again, you just pinch them shut. Now with knot covers, I do recommend using a little bit of adhesive inside that knot cover just to add a little bit of extra security. But then what you're left with is you've got a hook and a way of attaching this to a clasp or a jump ring. Along the same lines of the basic concept of being able to have a loop, which will allow you to finish off the piece and connect it, are cup chain ends. Now cup chain ends work by just taking the last link of your cup chain, sliding it into place, and then you would just use your chain nose pliers to take those little tabs and fold it over that last crystal. And then you've got a loop that you're ready to attach a jump ring or a clasp to. And finally, there are scrimps. Scrimps are something you might not be quite as familiar with, but these are also a way of securing beading wire. Here on this particular one, you'll see that there's actually an illustration of how this works, but there is a little screw in the scrimp, and you put your beading wire through the scrimp, loop it around, put it back down through it, and then tighten it with that little screw. And you can see these two come in a variety of shapes and finishes as well. So I realize that this is a lot of information. I just wanted to get you started on some basic understanding of what is available in terms of how to finish off your jewelry pieces and then be able to attach a clasp or attach them to the rest of your design. I know we covered a lot of information here very quickly. Please do check out the other videos on the Beadaholic website, which will show you how to use all these various findings.